10 years ago, a humble street vendor sold wantons by the roadside. His son, a young boy named Leo, would sit quietly beside the cart, doing his homework on a small, makeshift stool. The other kids from his school would often pass by, pointing and laughing. "Look, it's the wonton seller's son." They'd jeer, "Bet he smells like soup all day." Leo never retaliated. He'd just lower his head, his small hands gripping his pencil tighter, his face flushed with a mixture of shame and determination. His father, a kind man with tired eyes, would notice and gently pat his head, whispering, "Don't mind them, son. Focus on your books. Knowledge is the one thing they can never take from you." One day, the school's notorious bully, a wealthy kid named Marcus, strode up to the cart with his friends. He snatched a wonton from a customer's bowl and threw it on the ground, grinding it under his expensive shoe. "This is what I think of your family's business," he sneered. Leo's father's face fell, but he held back his anger, simply saying, "Please, don't cause trouble." Leo watched, his heart pounding with fury. That night, he couldn't sleep. The image of his father's pained expression was seared into his mind. He made a silent vow to himself. He would work so hard that one day, no one would ever dare to look down on his family again. The years passed. The taunts continued, but they became like background noise to Leo. His world was his textbooks, his nights illuminated by a single dim lamp as he studied relentlessly. He was fueled by the memory of every insult, every condescending glance. His father, meanwhile, worked even harder, his back stooping a little more each year, his hands becoming rougher, all to ensure Leo had the books and supplies he needed. He never once complained. His belief in his son was his silent, unwavering support. Then came the final high school exams, the ones that would determine everyone's future. The entire school was buzzing with nervous energy. Marcus and his friends were confident, bragging about the expensive tutors their parents had hired. They'd see Leo in the library, buried in a mountain of books, and snicker. "Poor guys. Trying so hard." They'd say it's cute. But talent is something you're born with, not something you get from a wanton cart. The day the results were posted was electric. A massive crowd gathered around the notice board. Students were screaming, crying, and hugging. Marcus pushed his way to the front, searching for his name at the top of the list, but it wasn't there. He scanned down, his confident smirk slowly fading. His name was halfway down the page, a decent but unremarkable score. Then, a gasp rippled through the crowd. Someone pointed to the very top of the list, at the number 1 spot. Printed in bold letters was the name, Leo. A stunned silence fell over the crowd. People turned to look for him, their faces a mix of disbelief and awe. Marcus's face turned pale, then red with humiliation. The wanton seller's son. The boy he had tormented for a decade. Number 1. It was impossible. Leo wasn't there to see it. He was where he always was after school, at the wanton cart. He was helping his father pack up when his phone started buzzing incessantly with messages of congratulations. He showed his father the screen, a small, triumphant smile finally breaking through his years of stoicism. His father looked at the phone, then at his son. Tears welled up in his tired eyes as he pulled Leo into a fierce hug. "I knew it," he choked out. "I always knew it." A few days later, the school held its graduation ceremony. The principal called the top student to the stage to give a speech. As Leo walked up, a quiet confidence radiating from him, the auditorium was silent. Even Marcus watched, his head bowed. Leo looked out at the faces of his classmates, the same faces that had once looked at him with mockery. He began to speak, his voice clear and steady. "For 10 years, many of you have known me as the wanton seller's son. You were right. I am, and I have never been more proud of it." He continued, "While you saw a street cart, I saw a university. Each bowl of wontons my father sold was a page in a textbook. His tired hands were the foundation of my dreams. The steam from the pot wasn't just soup. It was the fuel that kept me studying late into the night. You laughed at me, and in a way, I thank you. Your ridicule became my motivation. It taught me that true wealth isn't in your pockets, but in your mind and in your heart." He looked directly at his father, who was sitting in the back, wearing his best slightly worn-out shirt, his face beaming with pride. "This achievement isn't just mine," Leo said, his voice thick with emotion. "It belongs to the greatest man I know, my father, the wanton vendor." The entire auditorium rose to its feet, erupting in a thunderous applause that shook the hall. It wasn't just for Leo's academic achievement, but for his integrity, his love, and his unshakable spirit. That day, everyone learned a powerful lesson. Never judge a person by their circumstances, but by the size of their dreams and the strength of their character.